All right, Godless. So, what's your position on knowledge?
I don't think that anybody knows anything.
You don't think that nobody knows anything?
Yeah, like I believe that nobody knows anything.
You don't believe that anybody knows anything. Okay. What's the argument for that?
Because knowledge would require justification, and everybody's attempts at justification presuppose beliefs that they don't have justification for.
And the conclusion is
That people don't have justified true beliefs.
great. So, this argument constitutes what?
Can you restate your question?
Well, it has the form of an argument. It's got two premises and a conclusion.
Oh yeah, so let's
But the
say, I mean, I
conclusion,
didn't put it into a syllogism, but let's say, say it was put into a syllogism, which I could do, right? Let's say it was in modus ponens form, right? So it might be in a valid, and the premises, I might believe the premises are true, and it's in valid form, right? So we would take that argument to be sound even. But the thing is, I don't have justification for using modus ponens, right? So I take justification to raise the probability that your beliefs are true. And I don't take modus ponens, me to be justified in believing that modus ponens is going to raise the probability that my belief is true, because I can't justify modus ponens. I don't have justification for modus ponens. I just do it. I just use modus ponens. I don't have justification for modus ponens. Do you, bitch? What's your fucking justification for modus ponens? You got justification for modus ponens, Sean? Everybody watch him dodge the question.
great. So your belief is unjustified.
Correct. All my beliefs and all your beliefs are unjustified.
Great.
Wait, are you dodging?
So
Wait, are you
nobody
dodging the
knows
question?
anything.
Are you
Well,
dodging
first of
the
all,
question? Are you dodging the
what's your
question?
question? What's your
Do you have
question?
do you have justification for modus ponens?
Of course I have justification for modus
Oh, what's the
ponens.
justification?
Modus ponens is a formula of logic. Logic is foundational.
Wait, foundational is an unjustified? What the fuck?
No,
You just totally
that's not what
spoken.
foundational means.
Oh, I thought you meant like an axiomatic. So you don't take modus ponens to be axiomatic?
The propositions of logic are foundational propositions.
I'm sorry, are you saying that they're axiomatic?
No, I'm saying they're foundational.
Are they justified?
Yes.
What's the justification for modus ponens? Sean, what are you doing? Is somebody like telling you what to say in messages and you're reading it or something? What's going on? Why are you hesitating? Sean, what are you doing? What were you just reading?
Foundational. Hold on a second.
You're reading. He's reading something. What a fucking power!
There were no rules about extra reading materials, so I'm going to allow it.
Okay, well, if I'm not gonna debate Sean, I'm just gonna debate someone else. Then
Okay, so
this is over.
foundational
Okay, but I mean,
propositions
no. The next
are
time that this happens,
justified.
we can go deal with whatever you're saying. But the next time that happens, that there's a pause. If I'm gonna debate somebody else, then they can just come up on the fucking stage and debate me. If I'm not gonna do it through Sean. So the next time you pause, Sean, the debate's over. I mean, you already fucking lost because you just muted your mic because you didn't know what the fuck to say, and you're reading somebody else's text. But anyway, what's the justification for modus ponens?
Internalist justification.
Okay, it has internal justification. What is the justification?
The justification. Okay, so foundational propositions are
Sean, you're pausing. You can't pause. Come on. Are you reading somebody else's messages because you don't know how to respond? You scared little coward bitch.
No, I'm just reading stuff. So
What are you
foundational
reading?
propositions.
Okay, go ahead, read it.
Yeah. So
Sean, come on. I'm not going to debate somebody.
The
You
internalist
can't
concept
keep
of
doing
the
that.
internalist conception of justification is not a rule or prescription for choosing beliefs or doxastic attitudes. It considers an already formed belief of a cognizer and says what features are necessary and sufficient for the belief to count as justified. It does not take a cognizer who's decide which doxastic attitude, epistemology. All right, so look, here's the thing. Foundational propositions are prima facie justified. What that means is they're just justified on the face of them. They don't depend on other beliefs for their justification. They're foundational.
So you're saying they're justified because they're justified?
You could put it, not exactly.
Look, what is foundational? When you say they're foundational, what are you saying other than they're justified, right?
So a belief is said to be prima facie justified. The belief doesn't depend on other beliefs for its justification. Second, the belief's justification can be defeated by countervailing evidence. Prima facie justification. It just means that
What?
it's like it's justified on its face.
You're saying
right?
it's justified because it's
non-inferentially
justified.
justified. Well, sort of.
Okay, I don't take somebody saying it raises the probability because it raises the probability to actually be a reason to believe that it raises the probability, Sean. What's the argument for that? What's the argument for it? What's the argument for foundationalism? Give me the fucking argument for foundationalism.
Okay. Acquaintance with a fact is not by itself. So,
I'm sorry, what's the justification for foundationalism? What's the argument? Give me the first premise.
it's not like, well, it's not like there's like there's probably an argument like that one could construct like for foundational justification.
A non-question begging argument?
Yeah, I don't have something like that formulated.
Oh, so the next time we speak, you're going to have that our non-question begging argument for foundationalism ready?
Well, it's kind of a like difficult subject to wrap your head around, but it's.
Sean, I'm sorry.
I mean,
Wait,
just
do
think
you
about
have
it.
justification for modus ponens or not? You said you did, and all I heard you saying was, well, it's justified because it's justified. I didn't ever get the justification. What's the justification?
Yeah, it's difficult to deal with, right? But we have like the it's basically like intuitive, right? Like
Intuitions are unjustified by definition, moron. But also, you said
No,
that
they're
there.
not.
But you said part of the definition was that it can be defeated, right? So what could be the defeat? What's the possible defeater for modus ponens? Watch him dodge. Watch him dodges. What's the bitch? What's the possible defeater for modus ponens?
Well, I mean, it's possible that like logic is like classical logic is false or something, but that's not.
What's the possible defeater for it?
Most people
What's
don't
the
think
possible defeater for it?
it's not that we have to name a possible defeater. It's just that in principle.
What you're just is this asserting that there's a possible defeater? But you don't. Do you have a reason to think that?
Yeah, it's
plausible
that logic is not like classical logic is not infallible, right? But
wait,
I think we probably have good reason to believe.
Are you sure you want to stick to that claim? Do you want to double down on that claim? It's plausible that classical logic is not fallible. It's plausible.
It's fallible, yeah.
I think you want to take that back, Sean. Are you sure you want to say that? You just said it's plausible that classical logic is fallible.
I don't take the view that it's fallible. Honestly, I think it's probably infallible. I don't see a defeater for it.
You're just contradicting yourself. You said it's plausible that it's fallible, and now you're saying that you believe that it's infallible.
I'm not exactly sure how
you're contradicting yourself.
Prima facie justified would work for like something like modus ponens or something. I don't know. I'm not good enough in logic to like explain that kind of stuff.
The point is, you have to have an understanding of what it would mean for modus ponens to be false.
Right, but that would give us a justification. If we can't think of what a reason that would make modus ponens false, then modus ponens must be true.
Wait, if you're saying you can't think of a reason to think it's false, then you're saying there's no possible defeaters.
No, you're not. We're just saying that we don't have a defeater. It's undefeated. Not that it's indefeasible. Just at present is undefeated. We don't have defeaters presently.
What would it mean for modus ponens to be false?
Well, if that seems absurd to you, then maybe it's infallible that modus ponens is false.
I'm sorry. Do you know what it would mean for modus ponens to be false, or do you not? Because you're the one claiming that it's possibly false, right? So do you know what that would mean?
Yeah. No,
What
I'm
would
just
it
saying
mean?
prima facie
What would it mean?
justification can be
What would it
defined
mean? What would it
in that
mean?
way.
What would it mean? What would it mean for
Well,
modus ponens to be false?
well, if modus ponens isn't false, then we have a way out of skepticism. Then that's one thing we know is true.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to have non-question begging justification for that, but you're dodging the question, right?
You
Do you know
just
what it
gave
would
the
mean
you
for
just
modus
gave
ponens
the
to be false?
justification.
That's not justification. Do you know
That
what
is
it would mean?
justification.
Do you know what it would
There's
mean
no
for modus ponens
no,
to
I
be false?
don't, and that's justification.
What's the argument for that?
What do you mean? That's what
I'm sorry,
justification
you have justification to
is.
believe that if a human mind can't comprehend something, that therefore it's impossible?
Well, no, but that's the no, that's the point. I was agreeing with you that it's not. I don't see a defeater for modus ponens.
Look, the point I was making is you said that there was a possible defeater. But what do you mean by that? You don't even know what you mean by that because you don't even know what it would mean for it to be defeated. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Well,
There's
I
a
mean,
possible defeater, but I don't know what I mean by defeater. You're a moron.
suppose like the
pathetic,
laws.
Sean. This is really sad. This is sad.
Suppose the laws of logic are like aren't all infallible, right? Suppose like the law of contradiction law of non-contradiction doesn't obtain or
It
something.
sounds like you're
Right?
dodging my
That's
point.
conceivable.
You said that there's a
That's the
possible
answer. That's
defeater,
how
but you don't know what you mean by that.
Yeah, it's conceivable that there are problems with logic.
It's conceivable that there's a problem with modus ponens, but you already admitted you don't know what that means. Why are you lying?
No, that doesn't mean I don't know what it means.
Is it conceivable that modus ponens is false?
It's inconceivable? Well, if it's inconceivable, then that modus ponens is false, then modus ponens is necessarily true.
Is it or is it not inconceivable for modus ponens to be false?
Because you're contradicting yourself.
What's the contradiction?
I don't.
First of all, you're dodging, Sean. Okay, you can point out what the two propositions that I hold to be true that are contradictory in a minute after you answer the question.
Okay, what's the question?
Look, you said that it was.
What's the defeater for modus ponens?
Yeah, you said that there's a possible defeater, but you don't know. You don't even understand what you mean by that. And then you said it's conceivable for it to be false.
No.
But now you're.
I don't know.
What part are you disagreeing with?
I don't know what the defeater for modus ponens is.
But no, the point is you don't know what you mean for it to be possible for there to be a defeater because you don't even know what that would mean.
I do know what it means. It would mean that modus ponens is false. As modus ponens is made false by some other fact that we discover.
Yeah, well, can you conceive of it being false?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, can you explain what it means?
You could. Well, maybe it's not, right? Maybe it's inconceivable.
So you're contradicting yourself.
How am I contradicting myself? Oh yeah, I see. Well, because
okay, so now he's really humiliated and destroyed himself because he said that what he means by foundational is that it's possibly there's a possible defeater, but now he's saying it's inconceivable for it to be fucking defeated. So now he's just fucking humiliating and destroying himself because now he's saying it's impossible for modus ponens to be foundational. You've been humiliated and destroyed, Sean. This is so bad. This is sad.
Jesus, dude.
Okay, anyway, you said earlier, I mean, this is your worst performance yet, bitch. Anyway, you said earlier that I contradicted myself. What are the two propositions that in conjunction negate each other? Bitch, what are the two propositions?
That you can't have knowledge and that modus ponens is inconceivably false.
Look, if I don't think that you can have knowledge, that doesn't entail that something that's inconceivable to the human mind is like justified to believe that it's the case or that it's not the case.
Of course it does. If it's inconceivably false, that means it's true. If you know that it's true, then you know something.
I'm sorry, what are the two propositions?
That are in contradiction? That
yeah, I want the proposition. You're supposed to give me a proposition and its negation. False. Give me a proposition and its negation and claim that I said both those things.
Nobody knows anything. We know modus ponens is true.
I never said we know modus ponens is true. Do you have justification for modus ponens?
It's inconceivably false, according to you.
How is that justification?
Well, it just seems obvious, right? Like,
And by the way,
like
I never claimed
obviously,
it was inconceivable. You did.
no, I didn't. I mean, I can't see. I agree with
Oh,
you that
you said no.
it's
You did say
inconceivable.
that. You did say that. And when this goes on my fucking channel, when you were like, "Oh, let me think about it," you kept contradicting yourself, and you were like, "Yeah, you know what? It is inconceivable." So now that you're denying having said that, I'm gonna put this in
I'm not
clip
sure. I'll tell you
with
what.
each
I'm
other.
agnostic. I'll
Oh,
tell you
now
what. I'm
he's
agnostic
backpedaling
about that.
again. Backpedaling again.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm just kind of sorting through these things on the fly. So I think it's fair to say that I'm not exactly sure if I know that modus ponens is like infallible.
Okay, so now
I think
he
that's
doesn't
pretty.
know if it's foundational or not. Now he's agnostic about whether or not modus ponens is foundational. You're a fucking clown. You're a fucking clown, Sean. This is so sad. Why would you come at me again after all the time you got bitch slapped down? What the fuck is the matter with you? Why do you want yourself to be abused like this? Now he doesn't know if it's foundational or not.
I never said it was. I just
You
said
did
this is
say
the
modus
concept
ponens
of
was
foundational.
foundational.
No, I didn't. You just asked me. You put a fourth
That's what started the whole
hypothetical
conversation. I asked
syllogism.
you what's the
Oh yeah, yeah.
justification for modus
Your
ponens,
argument.
and you fucking pulled up the SEP on what foundationalism is, moron. Are you done, Sean? Are you ever gonna come at me again? Have you learned your fucking lesson, bitch?
You're honestly like.
Oh my God.
I feel sorry for you.
Truthy, please be sure. It would be such a horrible tragedy, Truthy, if this replay was not saved. Please, oh my God, please.
How could you
My heart is
possibly think?
racing, just thinking of the possible loss of this replay. Did anybody record? Oh my God, I'm so scared. Please, can we end the room right now to save this replay?
Okay, don't worry,
Wait,
Godless. It's gonna be
how could
okay.
you? Wait, we're not done yet. I mean,
Yeah.
I
I was just
have
trying to
other points to
recenter you
get
guys.
to.
I was trying to recenter you guys.
Okay, wait.
Fine,
So
fine.
now you're saying, so now he's agnostic about whether it's conceivable or not from what point
Okay,
to be false.
Godless. Give him like a nice 45 seconds.
Oh yeah,
Have a
if he's gonna be just reading somebody else's text, then just that person can just debate me. I'm not gonna debate through Sean. So
Dog.
I think
I'm just
Sean,
reading.
I think it's like blatantly obvious that Sean has
Godless.
been humiliated and destroyed.